Hello lovelies, welcome back to a coffee with cats. Before anybody asks in the comments, I did not change my hair. This is a wig from Everyday Wigs, and I'll have it linked in the description with a code CalmingEscape25 for 25% off. So we're feeling the purple vibes today. Played with some new purple makeup, got my purple wig. We're just ready for some fun for this coffee with cats. And what is more fun than Disneyland? So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I recently took a trip to Disneyland for the first time ever in December. And I thought I would kind of go over some of my favorite rides or experiences. So I was a total newbie. I'd never been to California before, never been to Disneyland or Disney World or anything. So my best friend and I went. I did a part of Vlogmas for it that I'll link below if you guys want to see. But yeah, I thought that Disneyland could be a fun topic for a coffee with Cass. As I'm filming this, the world is in quarantine and Disneyland is actually closed right now, which is really crazy. So let's think of happier times, positive times. So I do have my Evil Queen mug going, a little bit of Ursula vibes with my makeup look today. So grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea, hot chocolate, sit back and relax with me as we have a little coffee session. I will be referencing my phone because I don't think I can remember all the rides, at least the perfect names and so on. So I made a list of some of the rides that I really enjoyed, or ones that... No, I pulled this list from Disneyland's website, so I think it's by area, maybe, or maybe it's by... I think it's kind of by section of Disneyland and California Adventure, kind of. Whatever, we're just gonna go with it. So, the first ride I'll talk about is very fitting with my mug. Snow White's Scary Adventure, which is not a thrill ride, it's just a little ride through the storyline of Snow White. We did a couple of these. Snow White I enjoyed more, obviously, because I was familiar with the story. We did the Toad one, and I am not familiar with that story, but it was just super cute. The animatronic things at Disneyland, even with today's technology, you could say, I just found it fascinating and so entertaining. We were really little kids on all of these rides, so we went in to both parks wanting to ride on and see as many things as we could. We were told to avoid some things and we didn't really listen because we wanted to experience as much as we could because neither one of us had ever been. So. But yeah, Snow White's Adventure was very, very cute for all the childhood feels, if you will. Next on the list is Haunted Mansion. So this was one of my top things that I had to see. Both of us have to see for our vacation, and Haunted Mansion was one of them. Now I went in December, so Haunted Mansion was all Nightmare Before Christmas, which I love Nightmare Before Christmas, so that was great too. I would love to go back and see it as the regular Haunted Mansion as well, and you still got bits and pieces of it, but a lot of it is converted between Halloween and Christmas for Nightmare Before Christmas. And like I said, I enjoyed it. Went on it a couple times. It's funny because when you're like getting onto the ride, like the path is moving and the chairs you sit in are moving, and we kept joking that we weren't coordinated enough for this because you kind of have to like jump onto the ride, and I kept waiting. Like I thought I was gonna eat shit. But I loved it. The second time I think it was we went on, we were waiting outside when the line was a little longer, and we didn't face a lot of crazy line things because for a portion of our trip it was raining, so we got to like not have to deal with lines. But like the second time we were waiting in line in front of the Haunted Mansion, and we timed it perfectly because they were doing like the light show out in the little water area. So while we were waiting in line to go in Haunted Mansion again, we got to see like this spectacular water and light show, which was really cool. So this list is most definitely just bouncing all over the place, so oh well. So Frozen at Disneyland Resort, we were also lucky enough to see, and we saw a few different shows at Disney, and they were all very different. And Frozen was literally like a Broadway production. We weren't expecting that, and it was like incredible, like things dropped down from the ceiling and the sets and like the effects and everything. We were not expecting that, and it was, you know, just in the park you could go and see it. It wasn't any extra cost or anything, and it was amazing. It totally got us in our Frozen vibe. When we got home we saw Frozen 2 but it was spectacular. Like when it opens, if the Frozen show is still going, definitely go see it if you're over in California Adventure, because it was such a good show. It was just like, we were not expecting like that intense and high quality of a show. We thought it was like just like a little kid show type of thing because we had gone to some other like little kid shows, but this was like a full-on production. It was incredible. Then we have you know, I really loved the Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. It's like just such a basic little ride, but we had so much fun with it. It's funny, when we were in line for that one, we were talking to the people in front of us, and I don't remember what we were talking about, but we started talking about Harry Potter, and then it got onto the topic that they are more of Star Wars fans, and my friends all like, yeah, that's what Cassie is. And they're like, oh well, we really like Star Wars, and this is our son Luke, and their baby was named Luke. Which was cute, so that's a nice little memory. But yeah, Mater's Junkyard Jamboree was super fun. As I said, we rode as many rides as we could. Not just all the thrill-seeking rides, if you will. So Radiator Springs Racers was like the big deal the day that we were at California Adventure. It was like the ride to be on, I guess. So we did Fast Pass for later in the day, and so we ended up riding it at night, and it was fun. You got to see some of the car stuff, obviously, and then it kind of goes into a faster ride. The landscape of everything in that area of the park is just like beautiful, though. It's like cliffs and there's a waterfall, and everything is beautiful and spectacular, let me just say. I think I was in awe this whole trip. So any of you guys that like live in California and get to go like all the time, you guys are lucky, because it was great, and I want to go back. I really want to take my mom back because she hasn't been to Disneyland. She went for her high school graduation, so it's been a minute. And I want to show her all the new stuff. The Grizzly River Run we stumbled upon this our day in California Adventure because we did day 1 Disneyland, day 2 California Adventure, and then day 3 we went back to Disneyland. And it was the last ride we did that day. We had fancy dinner reservations, and we were sipping on some hot cider and just walking through the park. It was dark out by then, and we're like, oh, this ride doesn't have a wait. Should we just do it? And we we're like, sure. I'm not fully like realizing that there was the potential to get wet on this ride, but it wasn't too bad. And so this is another one where the ground is like moving while you have to get onto the little circle boat. I thought I was gonna fall in the water. I'm not very coordinated, but I made it. And my friend and I were seated with these 2 other guys that had been on the ride like over and over, and we hadn't been on it yet. And so they knew every curve and how to try and turn the little boat so that you either went down the falls backwards or things like that. It was really funny and so random that we were on our way to like our fancy dinner that we had like done reservations for, and we rode the Grizzly River Run before that. But it was really fun. It was fun. Everything was fun. Oh. Guardians of the Galaxy. So this was another one that I really wanted to do because I've always wanted to ride it since it was Tower Terror. I loved that Disney Channel movie Tower Terror, so I always wanted to ride it. And I was a little bummed when they switched it to Guardians of the Galaxy, but you know, I'm a Marvel fan, so I still had fun, and it's like still the same ride basically. And all of the props and different things you can see is really fun, but we started to freak out. We were like, oh my god, this is gonna be intense. And so the first time there were these girls that were like, don't worry, it's super fun and everything. And when we rode it, because it's like, it like takes you up and then you fall down and all of that, me and my best friend were holding on to each other for dear life. For dear life. It was really fun, but it was a crazy ride. And there was no wait time that day for this ride. So we got off of it, and my friend's like, we have to do it again. We have to. We were so freaked out. We had fun. There's no line. We have to do it again. Face our fears. So we did it back to back, and we were a little bit better the second time. First time we were holding on for dear life in our picture. Our second picture, we were like, had our hands up. So we did better. But yes, the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, definitely fun and crazy. Crazy. Then we have Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the rescue. Funny story, my friend wanted to go on this, but at the time I hadn't seen Monsters Inc. I know. Since then she's made me watch Monsters Inc. and Monsters University, so don't worry, but it was a very cute one. There was a lot of little like hints and spoilers, so she kept telling me to like forget everything that I'd seen because I hadn't seen the movie yet. The Golden Zephyr is like a flying tube thing in California Adventure, and it's pretty fun. We went on it a couple times. She got some good video of us, and you're like right by the little bay area, and the day that we were at California Adventure, the weather was beautiful. First day at Disneyland was very rainy, no lines though. Second day at California Adventure was beautiful sunny, and then our third day at Disneyland it was half sunny, half rainy, so typical. But yeah, I really liked that one, especially it was just beautiful weather that day for the Golden Zephyr. Well, a lot of these are for California Adventure right now, if you're gathering. I don't know what order this list is in. Let's see. Goofy Sky School, which is like a little roller coaster. We waited a hot minute for this ride too. It was busier that day. And the poor little girl that was with us, it was like me and my best friend in the front, and then like our mom and a little girl behind us. She was terrified. She thought we were gonna die on this roller coaster. So this little baby roller coaster, but I think we were more focused on trying to make sure that that little girl was not gonna die. From a heart attack, that is. Little Mermaid, Ariel's Undersea Adventure. I loved this one too. It was beautiful, like the Snow White one. It was just like all of the childhood and everything, and I had my Little Mermaid backpack for Disneyland trip, and it was just so cute. I love the songs and the lights and the animatronics and all of that stuff. I loved the little classic Disney rides because, you know, that's like the stuff I grew up with. So the new stuff is awesome also, but like the classic Snow White ride and Ariel ride, you know, those are really cool. Silly Symphony Swings. Now, I thought that I would be terrified of this ride. You're in a swing and you're flying above the little bay area thing, but we had so much fun. I think we rode it like 3 times maybe. Yeah, something like that. But we had so much fun in this ride, and I'm a little bit afraid of heights. I can get pretty anxious on heights, but I didn't even care on that ride. It was just like so much fun. And there was another ride that like scared the crap out of us, which I'll get to. And afterwards we wanted to reset our system, so we went on the swings again. We went on during the day, so in the sunshine, and at night, where you got to see all of the beautiful lights at that area in California Adventure. Beautiful lights everywhere. It's like a photographer's dream, I tell you. I would love to do photo shoots in both parks. That's just beautiful. Next up is the Incredicoaster. We almost didn't get to ride because it was shut down for quite some time, and then as soon as like it got open, the line went crazy, but we were able to rush over and get on, and we met up with these 2 like regulars. They live in California, and they like took us under their wing, and they're like, we're gonna get you the best seats on the coaster. So they were really nice people. But it's super fun. It was an awesome roller coaster, very quick, but you loop and you can look out over all of it as you go really high up, and you have like the Incredibles music going, and I love the Incredibles. It's one of my favorite Pixar movies. So I'm really glad that we only got to ride it once because of the delay of if it was going to be open or not and the lines, but I'm glad that we did get to, because we were pretty sure we weren't going to for a while that day, but we did, so that's good. Oh. You know something that I also really appreciate about the Disneyland and California Adventure rides? They're not like pukey rides. Does that make sense? My friend had actually brought me medicine in case I got nauseous or, you know, sick from the rides, because when we were kids we went up to this like theme park, and all of the rides were just like to make you dizzy. Everything was about getting dizzy, and I got so sick. So she's a sweetheart that she thought of that, but I didn't get sick the whole time because they're just like fun rides, and it's not like all about making you spin and dizzy and sick. So I definitely appreciated that. Speaking of spinning, but it wasn't bad, Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind. That wasn't even like a really like sick spinny one. We just had some spare time, so went on Inside Out. I had also not seen that movie at the time, but I have now. Gotta watch all the movies. But yeah, it was a cute little ride where you just like fly around. It lifts you up and you kind of spin a little bit, but not like crazy spinning, which I appreciate. Then we have the worst ride we went on. Pixar Pal Around Swinging Ferris Wheel. That damn Ferris wheel about killed us. Okay. First of all, we didn't think it was that big a deal, so we went on to the swinging side. That was a mistake. We didn't have anything to hold on to. We were both freaking out. I was pulling in every sort of anxiety relief method I've ever thought of or done to calm down. and stay zoned. I wanted to take pictures. I barely took any because I was so nervous in this cage as it swung back and forth. You're so high up. I don't know. We thought it was going to go a lot better, but we were both petrified. And I will never go on that ever again. Ever. I hated it. I hated it so bad. Because we went at night and we wanted to see like the pretty lights and everything, but I hated it. We both hated it so bad. I don't like it. But if you like those type of rides, go for it. Let's see. Toy Story Midway Mania. It's like a Toy Story interactive like shooting game, which had a really long line too. We waited for a while for that one. And you get to like shoot these things and like earn points. So it's very interactive. So I could see why there was quite a long line for it. So that was fun. Hopping over to Disneyland, Indiana Jones Adventure is the first ride that we went on. Everyone told us that the lines would be crazy for Indiana Jones and Pirates, so we went there first. Because of the rain, there was no line whatsoever. We ended up going on the Indiana Jones ride several times. It's probably one of my favorites. I love Indiana Jones anyway, and it's a fun ride. I love the music, and like there's parts where it feels like the darts are whizzing past you and all these sort of things. So I definitely really enjoyed the Indiana Jones ride. I almost lost my hat on it though. First ride, and my baseball cap almost flew off, but my ponytail caught it. You have Jungle Cruise, which I guess they're making a movie about with The Rock and Emily Blunt, but we went at night. Don't know if you should go during the day or not, but we only went on it once at night, and yeah, it's very comical. There are different like scripts or whatever the tour guide tells you, but it was fun. Just like a little like night stroll through the Jungle Cruise. Splash Mountain. Splash Mountain, they put me in the front seat. So luckily someone was nice and gave us their poncho, and then we gave our ponchos away too. But they put me in the front seat. So everyone behind me is all like, is this it? Is this it? Are we gonna fall? It's very fun and all that, but why'd they put me in the front seat? It's a Small World. So It's a Small World was beautiful. When we turned the corner, we saw all these lights. It was just spectacular and beautiful. And my grandmother had said that that's her favorite ride, so we have to ride it. And some of our other friends had said, don't ride it, it's boring. But it was so pretty, we wanted to see the Christmas decorations, so we go on It's a Small World. And if you've watched my vlog, you know this story, but we got stuck on It's a Small World. All the crazy rides we went on, and we had to be evacuated off It's a Small World. And it's hilarious. It's like such a hilarious memory for me. And I filmed because I was vlogging. And it was just so funny. We had to stop the boats, and yeah, there was a problem, so they had to evacuate us off, and they helped us stand up and walk along the ledge. And that was my experience with It's a Small World. It was beautiful, but just out of all the rides to be stuck on, all the rides to be evacuated off of, we got stuck on It's a Small World. Then we have the Matterhorn bobsleds. So we went on this twice. The first time was during the day, and it was super fun. A fun little thrill ride. And then everyone told us, like on Facebook, told us that we should go at night also. So we went back and planned our schedule to go at night, and it was crazy. Like part of the sleds, they have like, I don't remember how many, let's say they have 30 sleds, like only like 10 of them were working or something like that on the tracks. So there was a huge line, and the fast pass system was still up and going, so basically there was lines on both sides and we waited forever. We gave up at one point, but we were like, no, we're gonna stay. We've waited here this long. And so they were pulling people from the fast pass line and then our line, fast pass line and then our line, so it took quite some time, but it was fun at night. I don't know if it was necessarily worth all the time we spent waiting for it, but it's still a fun ride, night or day. Fun little thrill ride. I like the Yeti on it. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride I had mentioned earlier. It was okay. I don't really know much about Mr. Toad, so it wasn't that amazing for me. Peter Pan's Flight was one that a lot of people told us we had to do, and they were right. It's beautiful. It's really cool. It's like you're soaring over the sky. Definitely gets you in the Peter Pan spirit, or like those movies, you know, the classic Disney movies that a lot of us grew up with. So I definitely liked the Peter Pan ride. It's another one that we waited a bit for, but we both really wanted to go on it, and it was worth it. If you've been on it, you know, it's, at least in my opinion, I love looking out at like the stars, and it's like you're flying over the stars and everything. It's very nice. Pinocchio's Daring Adventure was another one of those that was just like the classic type little Disney ride that we wanted to do as much as we could. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I really liked this one, kind of like a roller coaster. We went on it a couple times, and it was very fun. Had fun with that one for sure. Now, everyone told us not to go to Toontown because we're adults, but we wanted to experience it all. So we like went into like, you know, Mickey and Minnie's house. We took pictures in Little Toontown. I could definitely see you having a blast. If you have little ones there, it would be super fun, because me and my adult best friend, we had like the best time in Toontown too. So living out those childhood fantasies, right? Let's see. Pirates of the Caribbean. So that's the second ride we went on, and I almost lost my head on that one too, but I didn't. We went on it a couple times too. I think the second time we went on it was to avoid the rain. And the thing about the Pirates of the Caribbean ride that gets me is, first of all, it's beautiful. It's huge. I don't understand how they fit all that into the section of that ride. It's like an optical illusion, but it's amazing. Like you're in like a boat, and like the different parts you go in and see, and the animatronics, and like then you're in like a pirate battle. It's amazing. I love it. One of my best friends that was giving us advice, because she used to live in California, and she said you have to go on Pirates. It's her favorite ride, and we were not disappointed. It was so much fun. We loved it. Let's see. I really wanted to eat at the Blue Bayou, but there was no reservations for it. The Blue Bayou is like right off of Pirates Ride, which is really cool. So the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. You probably know that I'm a Star Wars fan. Did you know that about me? So going to Galaxy's Edge was like the highlight of this trip. Standing under the Millennium Falcon was amazing. Taking pictures and then going inside the Falcon, all of that was crazy. So for the Falcon ride, we rode it 3 times, which was awesome because we got to do the 3 different positions within the ride. The gunners, the pilots, and like the fixers. Engineer. So we got to do all 3 positions. The first time we rode it, like when I went into the Falcon, you guys, I freaked out. It was like such a fangirl moment for me. And then we were pilots for the first time, and I felt bad because I kept crashing the Falcon. And then we went to, I think we were engineers and then gunners the 3rd time, but we had a blast with the Smuggler's Run, and it was so cool to be at Galaxy's Edge and see all the different things and feel like you stepped into a galaxy far, far away. It was definitely a highlight for my trip. And then one of the like things that we did, we had made reservations at Galaxy's Edge to build a droid, and so both of us built a droid. I did an R2 unit and she did a BB-8 unit, and you got to like build the droid, and it was so much fun. And we brought it home in her huge suitcase. It was all about the Galaxy's Edge, guys. And the new ride obviously wasn't open yet. I don't even know what that's called. The new Star Wars ride was not open yet, so now I have to go back and see that one. I have the Astro Orbiter. It's like a flying spaceship ride that me and my friends both sat in one of the spaceships together, so it's really funny. Some of my pictures are like literally like me taking it like this because I'm like sitting on her lap in this spaceship thing. But we wanted to try out all the rides, guys. We wanted to try out everything. Experience it all. Autotopia, or whatever that ride is. People told us to ride this, and it was the most boring ride ever. I wasn't a fan. You don't go very fast. It's definitely for little kids, because like the little kids can drive, but like when you're an adult and you already drive, I would pass on that. Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters was another fun like Toy Story themed ride, and you kind of got to like, you know, shoot the Zurg and stuff, so it was very interactive. Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage was really cool. At first I was like thinking as we're waiting in line, I'm like, oh, it probably doesn't actually go underwater, it's like an illusion, and then I was like, oh yeah, it definitely goes underwater, JK. But I love Finding Nemo. So I love the Nemo things that they added in, and all the different, you know, Darla. But I'm a big kid, if you haven't noticed by this Coffee with Cass. I had a really good time though. Space Mountain and or Hyperspace Mountain these days, I think might be my favorite ride. It's Star Wars themed these days, of course, but it's like a really cool like roller coaster, and you're like flying in the stars. And what's crazy for me is like the theme music was playing while you're on this ride. I love John Williams music, and it's like playing the Star Wars music as you're like dodging TIE fighters, and it was my fangirl heart. You got like a roller coaster and Star Wars in a space battle. It was awesome. We rode it twice. The second time we rode it, these two little kids tried to sneak on without parents, and like we had to like stop and get off and then get back on. Crazy story, but yes, I think Hyperspace Mountain is probably one of my favorite rides. It's pretty up. It's like Hyperspace Mountain, Indiana Jones. I really loved those ones. We also did the Star Tours, which is Star Wars themed. At the time it was Last Jedi. I think it's changed now to Rise of Skywalker. I'm not sure though, don't quote me on that, I'm not an expert. Then we did the Star Wars Launch Bay, which was really cool for like the different, like there's these cool props and art, and we got to meet characters. We got to meet Chewbacca. I wanted a hug from Chewbacca, and I got a hug from Chewbacca. Life accomplished. We got to meet a few characters. Let's see, like Chewbacca. We met Chewbacca, got a hug. That was like mine. My best friend's, she wanted to meet Spider-Man. She got a Spider-Man hug. We met Daisy. Jessie from Toy Story. We met some of the princesses. We met Cinderella, we met Ariel, we met Tiana. Yeah, we saw Belle, we saw Aurora from a distance. We saw Cap from a distance, Captain America. Did we meet anybody else? We had a lot of fun meeting the different things. At one of the points when we were in Galaxy's Edge, there were stormtroopers up ahead, and my friend like hit me, and I was like, what? And she's like, stormtroopers, let's try and chase them. And we were trying to chase them so I could get a picture with them, but they were like on a mission, so. We did go on the Disneyland railroad, like the train. if I would go back, I'd love to just ride it just to like see the full of the park, because you see a lot of things from the train that you don't see if you're just walking place to place. We rode it because it started to pour and we didn't want to have to walk in the rain the whole way, so we rode the train that way and ate our beignets. But yeah, I'd love to ride the whole train if I was to go back. Like I said, we met the characters, we did the Frozen show, we did a little reenactment, saw the little Tangled show, which was very cute, very like comical. That was what was great about the 3 different shows that we saw. They were all very different, but all very entertaining. So we saw the Frozen, the Tangled little show, and then we saw this other one. I don't even know what it was called. It's probably in my photo somewhere, but it was near Toontown. And like it had a bunch of different characters and they were singing, and these, it was like Fantasia, like on the screen. It had like the different, you know, Fantasia things, so that was really cool. Oh yes, some of the food. We'll end off this coffee with Cass with some of the food I enjoyed or didn't enjoy. First on this list is Alien Pizza Planet, which was like from Toy Story, right? We were like, we have to go. Pizza was really bad, guys. I was not a fan of the pizza, so keep that in mind. I was a little disappointed, but I did get one of the little alien macaroons. Those are good. If they have those, get those. Let's see, we also did like the churro carts, which were delicious, of course. Some of like the little carts. I got a huge bag of cotton candy that I got made fun of for. We did the Mickey pretzel. What else do we got? Flo's V8 Cafe in California Adventure. We had breakfast there one day. It was really good breakfast, like French toast breakfast. Was very tasty. Had a lot of good food. Oh, we did the Jack Jack cookie num nums, which is like a big cookie. We actually got that after we rode the Incredicoaster, and then we had to get over to the race car springs one for our fast pass. So we were like eating our cookie as we were like bolting over to that section of the park. At the Galaxy's Edge, I did get blue milk, which is like kind of like a slushy, which I thought was good. It was very a tropical taste for that. We did eat at the Rano Roasters at the Galaxy's Edge. The bar itself, like the cantina, was packed. We couldn't get in. But we went to the Rano Roasters, which was nice. Nice little food. We had like a it was kind of like a lunch for us that we had there. And as we were eating, Chewbacca walked by, so that was really cool. We did the Tiki Juice Bar. Let's see. We ate at the Riverbell Terrace for breakfast one day, which was nice food. Like I said, we did hot cider at the California Adventure. They were doing like all like the holiday themed foods and stuff since we went in December. Went to the Mint Julep Bar. Just some good stuff. And then our amazing dinner was at Steakhouse 55, which is not in Disneyland. It's at like one of the hotels that's like off of downtown Disney. So yeah, needless to say, I loved my time. It was a perfect vacation. I went with my best friend and she was the perfect travel buddy. I'd love to go again and re-experience everything. Like I said, I'd love to take my mom because I think she would have a blast, especially with all the things that's changed since she was there. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this coffee with Cass, just, you know, talking about fun and happy times. My fangirliness about my Disney adventures. Alright, lovelies, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.